I receive an offer for an NFT that I own for 1.3 Ethereum, or about $3,400 at the time. Pretty large sum of money. What's that? Another offer. 1.5 ETH. Alright, maybe 1.7? 2? 2.1? 2.5? 2.6? Woo-wee! And finally, on February 2nd, I receive an offer for 2.7 ETH, $7,830. Finally, I think it's time to sell, right? Let's get that money on our hands. But wait, the lowest prices on OpenSea have risen to almost 4 ETH. Screw that offer, we're gonna hold this. This actually might be the next Bored Ape Yacht Club. See you at 50 ETH. Spoilers, it was not going to be the next Bored Ape Yacht Club. But what was this NFT? And where did I get it? It's December 2021 and the NFT hype was at its peak. I'd been following Zumi, an online artist with a fairly large following who focuses on anime-styled art. And he was going to launch his own NFT collection. And I was here early. The collection was going to be called Lives of Asuna, an anime-inspired profile picture collection, and they were holding a competition to get into their minting whitelist. What's that mean? Now, minting means that on the launch day, you pay the minting price and the NFT is created for you. Now, because the hype around NFTs was absolutely massive, there was problem with bots. The bots would mint every single NFT during a public mint, and real people wouldn't be able to mint many. So a bunch of NFT founders came up with a whitelist system, which essentially was a list of people who were guaranteed to mint at least one NFT. Usually just one. I got into the whitelist for Lives of Asuna, because I took part in a fan art contest with this awesome picture. So on the mint day I got to mint myself an NFT for 0.1 ETH, and that would be around $300 at the time. And $300 is still a fairly large amount of money to put into a completely speculative asset, which is basically just a JPEG of an anime girl. Having said that, that's not the largest amount of money that I've spent on an NFT, which would be around $1,000, but we'll get to that. Around 1st and 2nd of February, the Lives of Asuna NFTs were being sold around 3 ETH. Highest sold for about 3.8 ETH, which at the time would be approximately $11,000. Now at this point, one might argue that it's really good time to sell, but what I actually did was kind of a textbook example of how not to invest. I had seen the successful ones like Azuki and Bored Ape Yacht Club do really well, so I just assumed this was going to do the same. This was the next big thing. I thought it probably will reach at least the 10 ETH mark, which the Azuki ones had already reached. I was up 3,500% from my original investment in just a couple of days. In any other investment opportunity would be almost impossible or would take decades. So anyway, I didn't sell at the 3 ETH price point, which I probably...
Be honest.
Which I absolutely should have, but there was actually one thing that was still coming up. A reveal. What that mean? Well, at the moment, all of the NFTs in the collection looked like this. They all had the same placeholder GIF, just doing loops. During the reveal, the collection is updated and everyone gets to see their randomly rolled attributes. There were rumors around the Discord server that the price would probably drop after the reveal. The drop happens when most people see that they got fairly average results and they just dump their NFT on the marketplace for cheaper price just to get rid of it. But there was a chance that you might get the rare one and be able to sell it for, let's say, 50 ETH. There also might be the possibility that the collection just keeps pumping the price. Popularity grows, who knows? Everything is possible in the NFT space. But the day of the reveal comes and we get... It's a top 1000 rarity with fairly random attributes. I don't really fit. Okay, yeah, not the rarest one. What about the price of the collection? It crashes. in a day, the price of the collection halves. Is around 1.5. And at this point, we get to my second mistake, holding the zero. At this point, I would still make 15 times my original investment if I just sell my NFT. These are being sold, I'm being offered that, I could just take the money and be really happy. There's probably a financial term for this, but since I didn't sell at the absolute top, now I feel like I'm losing at a loss if I sell at half the top price, even though I'm still up 15 times the original amount, which is insane and pretty dumb. But I just should have sold the goddamn JPEG. But once again, I didn't. At this point, I reason to myself why I should just hold it. The price might actually just bounce back. Also, you get exclusive perks in the Discord when you hold the NFT. You get whitelisted into other collections. And hey, they promise actually 3D model of your NFT in the future. They also promise customization. And also some sort of a music project is being tagged to this project. Well, today is 3rd of December 2023. Let's look at the price. Still holding and still waiting for the 3D model of my character. Now, before I get to my $1,000 NFT purchase, I realized that NFTs are not exactly liked. In fact, a lot of people seem to hate them. Most people also regard them as scams. And with just one example that I've given, you might be thinking that as well. However, they are still doing those 3D models. But there has been so many scams in the space. And most of the NFTs that have been minted and made have been absolutely useless, because they're just profile pictures, which is probably the dumbest thing that you can use the NFT tech. But it's also probably the most easiest, because you can just replicate the CryptoPunk formula of 10,000 randomly generated profile pictures. It's super easy, and if you have a large hype around this space, it's easy money, and you don't even have to promise anything special. But since NFTs can represent almost anything and verify ownership, I still think the tech has real utility. And now that the hype has died down pretty drastically, I hope we can utilize the tech better. And on the environmental front, Ethereum has changed from the proof of work consensus mechanism, which used a ton of energy, to a more friendly proof of stake. I mentioned that I've spent around $1,000 on an NFT. That would be this one. A Neo Tokyo Season 2 Outer Citizen. I bought this about a year ago for 0.75 ETH, which was about that $1,000 a year ago. Well, with this guy, you get access to the Neo Tokyo Discord server and locked chat rooms with secrets. The whole idea behind the Neo Tokyo is to gather people interested in game development together in one place, specifically game development regarding and tied to crypto and NFTs, surprisingly. And now that crypto is back, also crypto gaming projects have been rising from the absolute ashes. And Neo Tokyo has started to advertise that a lot of game founders have joined into the club. And if you're interested in game development in the Web3 sphere, you might be missing out if you're not in the club as well. So obviously the Neo Tokyo NFT prices have been rising as well. The original Season 1 NFTs went from around 4 ETH to about 15, and the one we are interested in, Season 2, have risen to almost 3 ETH. Around 2.8 is the price around now, and that would be around $6,000. Sound familiar? So obviously, having learned from the past, I sold immediately when it hit that mark. Right, well, actually, it's locked up in a contract for another 200 days. You see, Neo Tokyo also provides a staking possibility where you can stake your citizen in a contract for fixed amounts of time. You just need to get some bytes, Neo Tokyo's own currency, and stick them to your own Neo Tokyo bank, where you get bytes as a reward. So I spent around $800 on bytes and stuck them in. But good news also, the bytes prices have been risen to around where my 200 bytes is worth around $3,000. Hey, not a bad investment. They are also, though, locked for that 200 days. Overall, not a bad investment, assuming the prices stay around this level for another 200 days. They might not. But for real though, this project compared to the other one is a bit more well organized and better connected with actual people doing actual stuff, like actual games are being shipped and made. It's a very active Discord server with actual talk on how game development works and how to actually integrate NFTs and crypto into gaming. And I'm actually interested in game development. But depending how things go, I might be holding on to the NFT even after the locked up period is over, but we will see. Those were the couple of notable collections that I've been investing in. I've also bought and sold some of the smaller NFTs and also dabbled into some Cardano NFTs for slightly smaller amounts. And probably the most notable collection that I have in Cardano is Clay Nation, these lovely clay figures. They are also being integrated into games, I think. Lots of connections. I think they had Snoop Dogg talking with them. But connection with Snoop Dogg doesn't guarantee your success, as FaZe Clan can probably test you. So also good possibilities with these guys. Fingers crossed, we hope for the best. I don't know if I should make a disclaimer, you know, if you're gonna spend money on NFTs at this point, prepare to lose everything, obviously. It's almost like gambling. Very little to do with actually investing. But it's fun if you can afford to lose your money. Anyway, that's about it. Yeah, one absolute fail and one possible win.